Okay, so we will start with the work and let me share the screen again. Right, so as I said, we are going to do this picture and this is the image, the color image, and we are going to animate it, right? So we are going to move some of the portion of this picture, like the sun, this water, this boat, and maybe this uh, bird. All right. So this is the wireframe of this picture. That means the outline drawing without the color, and we will put the color, etc. We will do the animation in Animate. So we just need this wireframe. I'll send these two pictures with you with this video so that all of you can have this and you can work with this picture only. All right. So as I said, the scene, let me just cancel it. I'll show it again how to open. And so this is your Flash or Animate. Now it is called as Animate. All right. So you can go to File, New. All right. Then once you can select the width as 1920 and 1080, which is full HD. Make sure the frame rate is 24 frames per second and the platform type is ActionScript 3. All right. If you're using an older version, which I don't prefer, I prefer all of you to use the 2021 version only, because then it will be similar. My interface and your interface will be similar, and it will be easier to work, because with each updates, they will change some of the elements of the interface. And if it is too different, if you're using a very old version or something like that, then it will be a problem for you to understand. All right. So please try to use Adobe Animate version 2021. Okay. I hope that that will be downloadable in your laptop or desktop, whatever you are using. So in the platform type, ActionScript 3, frame rate 24 frames per second, width 1920 into 1080. You can use any of these other presets also. You can use HD version, you can use 4K version, you can use a standard version even. But let us work in full HD, right? So after that, you can click create. Once you are clicking create, then this interface will come. Let me change this to the essentials, the workspace, all right? And close this. So you will have this is your frame. This is where you are going, the animation is going to happen. As I said, these are at the below, these are the frames. This is the timeline. This is called the timeline. And here you can see 24 frames per second. FPS means frames per second. These are the layers. So with each layer one you're going to create, it will be stacking up over here. There's a timeline. These are the frames. So now there is no frame. So if I am going to draw anything, okay. So you can see one frame is created over here, all right? So whenever you're clicking a frame, which is a blank frame, all right, and drawing something on this white space, then a black dot is coming, which is a keyframe. This is called a keyframe. Okay, and the keyframes are very important in animation in this timeline. So below, this is called the timeline. Right, this whole space here, it is called the timeline. as I said, keyframe, and this side, this whole bar, this is called the, this whole space, right? This is called the toolbox, because there are different type of tools over here. The selection tool, the crop tool, the brush tools, eraser tool, shape tools. So different type of tools are here, right? So these are the basic things. There are a lot of other things also, which we will, practice, we will learn with each work. So Control Z is undo. I'm just clicking Control Z, right? So it removes whatever you have done till now. Okay. All right. So the first thing what we are going to do is I'm going to bring the image into here, the sketch image, okay, into here. All right. So now to position this properly, just zoom out. Okay, control. Okay, 1 minute. Zoom out. Then you can click on this with this tool over here. Okay, this is called the free transform tool. All right, you can click the free transform tool and click on this image. So you can see there are different boxes around the black boxes around the picture. That means you can resize it. Okay, if you just press Control and resize, then the size will remain the same, right? The aspect ratio will remain the same. Then you can put it over the complete white portion. Okay. Actually, this image is in a little different format, so it's going to be a little problem. But anyways, we can manage it for now. Sorry, I've just got two images. That's why the problem is there. Okay, let us have the image like this. So for now, let us have the image like this. I think this is fine. All right, so this is the basic, the image on which we will do all the works. So we will rename this layer. All right, you can go to this layer. You can rename it as the sketch. Always keep in your mind, renaming a layer, giving the layer a proper name helps you a lot. All right. So whenever you are going to do this, you're going to create these layers, always make sure that you name the layers properly. So now if you look at this image, there are basically three parts. All right. One is this front foreground, which is the tree, the bird, right? One is the middle ground, which is like the hills, the river, and this house over here. This is the middle ground. And one is the background, which is the sky, the sun over here, and this ocean, right? So the foreground with the tree and the birds and the leaves and etc. The middle ground, which is the, this hills and the house and the river and the ocean and the sky at the background. Okay, so what we are going to do is we will start the work from the background layers. All right, so it's easier way to work. You can start the work from the foreground layer as well, but I am more comfortable in working from the background to the foreground, because you will get then an idea of color, you will get an idea of animation much more clearly. All right, so what we are going to do is now we are going to create some layers. All right, few of the layers. And we are going to select some frames over here. All right, and press F7. Sorry. We are going to press F5, not F7, sorry, F5. All right, so you can see some of the like frames are already created, but there is no animation, but still some frames are already created, right? It's easier way to work. Okay, you cannot do that. It's optional, but I like my timeline to have some frames so that I can understand that, okay, something I'm doing over here. All right, so as I said, the first thing is what we're going to work with is the sky. All right, so we are going to start our work from the background, okay, to the foreground. So the first layer above the sketch layer will be the sky. Okay, now for the sketch layer, we can lock it. Like we don't need to move it, right? So here, if you just move your mouse over this part, one option is you can hide it, right? And then another option is you can lock it. So for the sky sketch layer, we are going to lock it. All right. Now for the sky layer, right, we are going to click our mouse over here, and I am going to just select one color. Sorry. Let me select a dark one. Okay. Now I'm going to draw my brush settings are not fine. So here in this sides, I can actually see my fluid brush options. If you are clicking, this is the color options. All right, you can have this select colors from here also. All right, and by the side of it, under the properties tools, if you click here, you will see the fluid brush option. Move the stabilizer a little bit, move the curve smoothing a little bit. Now the difference, in the newer version, there are two options, classic brush tool. If you are clicking classic brush tool, you will see that the options are limited. You just have the smoothing, you just have the size. You can increase and decrease the size. You have the maximum, minimum size and the smoothing, right? But if you're clicking fluid brush tool, you can see there are more number of options. All right, you have the size, of course, okay, and you have the stabilizer. All right, you have the stabilizer, you have the curve smoothing, you have the roundness, you have the angle, the taper, all these other options you will get. So it's better to work with the fluid brush option. You will get a lot of options to work with. Okay, so I will select the fluid brush option. And you can see the difference between the first and then this one. So what I have done is I have increased the stabilizer and I have increased the curve smoothing. Okay, make sure, or else it will be very, the borders will be a little bit uneven. Now I'm drawing over this as an, as a background. I'm drawing this sun first. All right. So the sun will be one object or one layer. Next will be the, over it, the sea will be there. Okay. So first I'm just working with the sun. You can, of course, zoom in. Okay. So if you're using a mouse, this needs a little bit practice. If you're using a Wacom tablet, it's a little bit easier, but whatever you're using, it's fine. All right. So this is the sun for me, right? I don't need to worry about the lower portion because it will be covered with the ocean over here, because the ocean layer will be in front of this sun. So I don't need to worry about the lower portion, but try to make it as nice as possible. Okay, so this is my first object I have drawn. All right, so you can see on the sky, I have a black dot. Now, a very important thing to learn. That is, I can work in these layers with each frames over here. But an easier way of working is to create a symbol. That means I can right click on this, all right? Right click on the sun or whatever drawing you have made, convert to symbol, or as you can see, F8. All right. For Flash, when you're working in Animate, please remember to use the shortcuts. It's much more easier. So convert to symbol. Sun. Symbol, I will explain what is symbol. You name it sun, type graphic. Okay. Again, very, very important. The type should be graphic. All right. No need to do anything about this registration at all. Okay. So this is now a symbol. The idea of symbol is if you're clicking it, you can see a new timeline. And above, you can see here sun and scene one. So this is a scene one on which we were working, right? And this is when you're clicking the sun, you can see another timeline. All right. This is the idea is basically similar to you have one box. All right, you have things and you have pictures on that box. Inside that box, you have another box. So all the details of that, whatever you have inside the box, maybe 10 things you have inside one small box. Then you cover it with one, keep them inside one box. Then you put the box inside another bigger box. Okay, so creating symbols are like that. Each symbol will have its own layers, whatever animation, whatever detailing it will have in its own inside this one single symbol. And that symbol will be inside in one scene. All right. So inside this one scene here, I can have hundreds of symbols, but this space of the scene will not get much, disturbed. All right. So if I am working in here, so with so many layers and so many frames, which I'm going to do now for this work, if I'm working in one single scene, then it's very difficult to go and search. So for example, I have created everything in one single scene, right? The sun, the sky, the background, the clouds, the river, mountains, etc. Everything in one single scene over here, right? Now I have to go into the, I have to do some editing in the sun, in the animation of the sun. Then imagine if there are, 25 or 30 layers over here, I have to go and search and find among all these things, right? But if I'm working with symbol, I can see the sky. Okay, I can click this layer and I can see that there is the sun. There's a symbol. I can double click it. Now this, only this symbol is opening. Rest of the thing you can see it has become blurred, so it's not going to disturb any other thing. Just the symbol of the sun is opening. Got it? So this is the easier way to work. This is a very convenient way to work with. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just create some frames. Okay, let us be 9 frames or 10 frames. All right. So click, sorry. So click F5. All right. And in alternative frames, okay, let it be 12 frames. Okay. Okay. Let me do for a 12 frame animation. So F5. And in alternative frames, we are going to create 1, 1. All right. So F5, then F5. That means, okay, let me do in this way. All right. So in alternative frames, we are going to work. Okay. And what we are going to do is we are going to do some movement on this sun. Okay. So not in every frame. So the basic idea is 24 frames per second. We have 24 frames, but we are going to work inside these 24 frames. We are going to put keyframes as 12, only 12 keyframes. Okay, that will be a smooth way of doing animation. And that's a very basic first primary way of doing. When you are more advanced, all right, you can work in every single frame by frame animation. You can work in every single frame. Or rather, you can work with multiple number of frames, like 6 frames, 5 frames together. All right. But for the beginning, we are going to work with in alternative frames. That is, we're going to put the keyframes in each alternative frame. So frame number 1 we have drawn. Next, we will draw frame number 3. We are going to put a blank keyframe, which is F7. Now you can see, I cannot see what is drawn in the first. So there is one very nice option called onion skin. All right, here, if you click here, it's called onion skin. Onion skin means now I can see very, what I have drawn in the first frame, right? I can see this. So this is called onion skin, okay? Because this is a blank keyframe. I have not drawn anything. F7 means blank keyframe, right? I have not drawn anything. So if I'm going to animate it, I need to see the last, what I have drawn in the last frame, right? So instead of going back and forth, I can click the onion skin option, which is going to show what I have drawn in the last frame, right? Now in this frame, I'm going to draw this sun again, sorry. Okay, fill the color. All right. Now you can see this a little change in the shape of the sun. Not much. Okay, again, F7 in an alternative frame. So again, I can see the outline of the last frame. Again, a little, sorry. Now, as I'm showing in the class, I'm not going to take your much time and I'm drawing a little roughly, okay? If I'm doing for my personal projects, I'm going to spend more time in drawing the shapes properly. And of course, you can use this, this shape tools, but for this kind of pictures, it's easier. It looks nice if you're just drawing with your hand. Okay, try to avoid using the shape tool. Okay, now you can see that it's the sun a little flickering, right? Then again, you can draw another frame. Okay, F7, brush tool. I'm not worrying about the lower portion because when I'm going to draw the ocean, it's going to cover the sun and the lower portion. Okay, just make a little corrections whenever required. Try to make it as smooth as possible. Okay, don't copy the shape or else there will be no animation. Just a little difference in each, like in each frame, so very little difference. So for the paint bucket, you can use K and click it. And for the brush, the shortcut is for the fluid brush, Control Shift B. Okay, Shift B is the shortcut for, again, I'm writing here, Shift plus B is the brush tool. Okay, and K is the paint bucket, which fills up the paint. Okay, right? You can write it down. Erase this. Okay. Yeah, let me do another one, another frame. F7. Again, I'm going to draw. While seeing the video, you can work with it. Don't wait for the video to end. You can start your works, right? So, again, one, let us do a 12 frame. F7. Okay. Now, if you are playing it, you can see that the shape is changing. Okay, so you can press loop. Sorry. And the shape is changing. It's like the sun is wiggling, right? Now, I think it needs a little bit correction because it's too much, all right? So what I'm going to do is and to set the onions clean. Okay, and I'm going to change a little bit. So let me change the first frame. Okay, let me delete it. So this is the idea, what we are going to basically do. Now I want to do it a little bit in a better way. Okay, so and to start from the beginning again. Meanwhile, you guys can again start doing it. So if I'm bringing this, if I'm going to change the shape a little bit, if I'm bringing this selection tool over here, right? Selection tool or V on your keyboard. If you're bringing this arrow just near the edge of the drawing, you can see a curved line over here below, right? So you can move this line with this curved line. Okay. So this is the idea. You can move this line anyways. So this is the first frame. Okay, so with practice, even you will be able to draw smoothly with each frames, but unless and until you are satisfied with it, happy with it, don't stop. Okay, so make sure you are satisfied with your drawing. If this wiggling is a little bit too much, then it will not look good, isn't it? And this is what you will be achieving while doing with the hand drawing tool, is you will be getting more flexibility, more softness lines, movement on the drawings, or else with the shape tool, it won't be that much interesting. So for the beginning, we are going to use this hand drawing. That is why I was suggesting you guys get a Wacom. Okay, it's cheap in China. Even I bought my Wacom in China also only. It will be easier for you to do the work. Okay. So let us just work with this many frames. Now this is the sun. And if you see again, this is the movement. It's better than the last one, right? Not too much, not too little. Okay, so now we are going to create one more layer, because in the original picture, you can see these lines over here, right? You can see these lines. So we are going to do that. Okay. Yeah, so you can create another layer on top of it. Okay. Now change the color into a lighter one. Okay. Now let's see. All right, let's take this color. Okay. We're going to give some lines inside. Okay. Again, on top of each frame, each keyframe, the last key, in one layer, we have the keyframe over here. The same layer, in the second layer, we have the keyframe over the same place. Correct? Sorry. F7. So you can see the last where we have drawn in the onion skin. Again, F7, you can see where we have drawn. Just keep your onion skin on. Remember the onion skin. So you can see again, F7. Okay, sorry. So you can see the onion skin. The last one, F7. Again, I'm doing a little bit roughly because or else this will be a 3-4 hour long video. You can take your own time to, work more smoothly and much better. All right. Now let's see how it looks. Okay. This size is not right. One size, I think it's too big. Yes. So this one I can change a little bit. Sorry. Or else just I'll erase the shape. Okay, let it be. Okay, now yeah, so add a layer. Now this outer lines, okay, these outer lines will be of the same color as the sun, right? Then we are going to eyedropper tool and select the color of the sun. So if you are selecting this eyedropper tool and clicking on whatever color you want to select, all right, so now I want to select this color of the sun. Just click it and the color will be selected. With that, click over here, okay? Same way, we are going to draw some lines. Outside, same process, F7, onion skin on. We're going to draw some lines. So all the keyframes of each layer should be on the same place. Mind it, okay? Onion skin on. And don't forget to click F7. Some of your computer can have different options in just F7. So just click function F7. Again, I repeat, function plus F7, right? Function F7. Okay, so it will look like this, right? So All right, now we have, I think you have got this part. Now if you just exit this sun, this layer, this objects layer, okay, sorry. Okay, now if you are just playing over here, see, this will loop and loop until the end of the animation. Okay, so I have not done anything in this layer. Rather, inside this layer, I have created one symbol. Inside this symbol, I have done the animation. But you can see that visible, that is visible in the main symbol, I mean main window also. Got it? Sorry. Okay, so it's visible here also, right? Now let's work in the second layer. Similar process, all right? Now drawing. We are going to work on the scene one, mind it. Sun symbol is done. Going to create the second symbol. So what we are going to do is we are going to select this color, okay, in here. This is my color now, the second symbol. Sorry. Okay. Again, fill it up. So this is going to be the background sun. You can right click, convert to symbol. Let's say sky mid. Okay, type graphic. Okay. Now it have come in front by default. If you're creating a new symbol, it will come in front. Now what you can do is right click, sorry. Right click, arrange. All right. Right click on this symbol, arrange. You will get different options: bring to front, bring forward, send to backward, send to back, those send backward. Okay, or control from back, I mean control down, control up. Okay, it is now in front, it is now in back, control down, right, on your keyboard. Or just right click, you will get arrange, then send backward. Got it? Send backward, right? So this is now the second symbol. Okay, again, we are going to right click it. Same way we are going to animate this one as similar whatever we have done in the symbol of the sun. All right, so F7. Again, we are going to draw. I'm selecting some random colors, okay? I'm not giving much importance to the colors, but if you want the colors of the picture to be properly given, you can take references from this picture color also. Okay, whatever colors is here, you can give take the references from that also. All right, but let me change this color a little bit. It's not looking good. So yeah, let it, I think it's better. Right, so this is better. Okay, again, F7. We don't want much flickering movement, but a little bit. That will look interesting. F7. Again, make sure the onion skin is on or else you won't be able to see the background, the large drawing. Seven. Control B for, sorry, Shift B for brush. Again, I'm not worrying too much about the size, I mean, about the lower portion because it's going to be covered with the ocean. But for you guys, I'll suggest take your time while drawing each of this layer. You can see I'm working really fast or else this video will be too long, right? So take your time to work on it. Okay. Right. Then same way, I'm going to select a lighter color and draw some light, like leaking of, sorry, create a new layer. It's like the color is just leaking. Gives a dynamic look. Okay. Don't forget to switch on the onion skin again because or else you won't be able to see the last layer. Right. Okay, I've done the mistake, I think. Yes, I've just drawn one upon the other. I forgot to put F7. 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 Yeah. Okay. So similarly, add another layer, the outside lines. Now I'm going to select the same color as this one. Okay. Draw some lines outside. F7. Again, remember all the keyframes in all the layers should be at the same place. And before putting F7, click on that frame. Then put insert keyframe. Okay. So whole thing will be looking like this. See, let's us see in the scene. I don't know what this is. Okay, sorry. I have drawn that on here. It should not be here. It should be here only. Okay. Anyways, it was a mistake, but this is the thing. All right. Similar in the same way, the background should be drawn. Right. This background layer, and we will go like this. Now, for today's class, I want you guys to do this. All right. Just the sun, as I have shown, with this background of this, the sky middle. And similarly, I'll just show you here this, this background over here, right? So these three layers, same way, same technique, whatever I have done in this first two layers, that same technique will be done in this layer also. So the sun, right? The sun over here, the sun is at the first, then this is the second, this is the third. So this 3-layer animation is the same type of animation, just how I have shown. So I want you guys to do these 3 layers today in today's class. Okay, and whatever time you have remaining, you can do it. Make sure before next week class, you complete this. The first layer for the sun, the second layer, and the third layer for the sky at the back. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Again, I'm in a brief, I'm just telling the process. Again, the steps. All right. First, open the file 1920 by 1080. You can Open the picture, insert this background picture. I will send with the video file, this background picture inside the frame, inside the white portion. Okay. Then layer 1, create different layers, like in the scene. In one like scene, you can see the sketch layer, then comes the sky layer, then one by one layer it will come, the ocean layer, middle ground, and all these things will come. First we will start to work with the background, the sky layer, right? And draw that sun. Okay, right click, convert to symbol. Very, very important step. Whenever you have drawn that sun, okay, convert to symbol. Then once you have created the symbol, work inside the symbol, right? Once you have created this symbol, go and work inside this symbol. So this is a sign for the symbol, this blue box, all right? And there will be this kind of this is a sign of a symbol. So, right, if you're double clicking on it, you will get the symbol of the sun. So whatever animation you have to make here, work in alternative keyframes. So this is the first keyframe, this is the third one, and I'm putting the keyframes in the third one. Again, the fifth one, seventh one, ninth one, all right? Before drawing anything, click on the frame, insert keyframe or function F7, all right? Or just simply F7. So you will be putting a keyframe. So as I have shown it, go into the video back. You want to see it again, see it, how we have done it. So the one symbol will be the sun. The second symbol will be the sky middle. The third symbol will be the sky background. I didn't do it. I want you guys to do it. Follow this first two part and do the sky back. So these three layers, the sky, the sun, sky middle, and the sky background should be shown to me before the next week's class. Today, just do whatever time you have. Just do this and show it to me. If anyone having any question, kindly ask me in voting messages, in you know, through mail or through Zoom, whatever, you can ask me and send a message to through Botim. It is the most convenient one. If you don't have Botim, so you can send a message to Zangi. I've shared my detail with Melody. You can take it from here. All right. Don't ever hesitate to ask me questions. But if I don't want, you know, see, you guys had class with me before. You know me, right? So if you don't work, I will be upset. I want all of you to do your work properly. And whenever there is any doubt, there is any question, just clearly ask me. But I want all of you to do your works properly. Whatever assignment, whatever work I'm giving you, I will not give you a lot of works. I know animation, you guys will be a little bit slow to work in it. So I'll not be giving a lot of work. So this is a very simple work. Most of you will finish it in this class, all right? If you can't, go install in your desktop or laptop or whatever you have and do the work. So these three layers, I want you guys to do before next week, okay? And yeah, that's a thing. And class monitor, kindly give me the attendance at the end of this class. I'll come online if you want, and we can, you know, but mostly coming online, it's not very helpful because there will be communication problem and all. Anyways, I will please form a group. I request the class monitor to create a group in Botim for this class, so that if anyone have any question, you can share it through the Botim and I will reply to you. Okay. Please make sure you have your work ready, and I can ask to send that at any time Class monitor, kindly check everyone should be doing this work in the class during the class time, and then only give them attendance. If anyone have not done anything, is just sitting or sleeping, don't give the attendance to them. Send their student ID and name to me, then I will talk with them. Class monitor, again, just give the attendance to students who are doing their work in the class time. This is a instruction, okay? Because if later I am finding out if anyone have got the attendance and have not done the work, I will mark the class monitor absent. So make sure class monitor kindly give the attendance to the students who are doing the works. Okay. All right, then I'll end the video. I'll be online. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or else let's do the work and we will meet next week. Okay, so I'm ending the video now. See you guys later. Bye, everyone.